Hey tubes, today we're going to pull the blade off this lawnmower here, and we're going to sharpen it. So I want to go ahead and show you that, and later today we'll be playing with the Cadillac for those of you who've been following along with that. So let's get on to this mower. Alright, to do this job you're going to need some gloves to help protect your hands from the sharp blade when you get done with it, a file, a block of wood to kind of shimmy the blade against the side of the mower, or you could just use gloves, either way. A hammer to help knock the bolt loose when it's on the wrench. You'll need a 14mm wrench, box wrench, or a wrench that fits your bolt. I highly recommend a box wrench, because a slip wrench or a crescent wrench may just round off your nut if the bolt is on extra tight, so I don't recommend that. A pry bar, in case you have a mushed up bolt and your wrench is sticking on it once you hammer the wrench on a little bit, and you only tap that wrench on there, you don't beat on it. So okay, so let's go to see the other tools you're going to need. The other tool you're going to need is a vise and something to balance the blade on so you can watch it tilt. You'll see that in the video. I just use one of those little bit holders that you stick in your cordless drill or your electric drill. It's got a little 1/4 inch here that you put the screw tip in, like a Phillips or a blade tip. And let me go ahead and loosen this up. For the jaws, you don't need these, but I like them. And that's just some plywood that I stick in my vise. And what that does is it keeps whatever that's metal or painted or whatever in here from getting chewed up by the jaws. So, and they're easy to make. You just measure how long you want them and how far it is from here to the top of here, and then the width, and then however long you want to put down here. And you center it up and you cut that slot in there. The last thing you're going to need is a grinder, a bench grinder. And if you don't have a 6-inch or 8-inch bench grinder in your garage or shop, if you play around with tools and stuff, then you really need to think about getting one. They're really useful, cleaning up metal parts for you to paint and sharpen tools and just all kinds of stuff. So anyways, this is the last tool you'll pretty much need for what you're going to be doing the job today. Alright, first thing you need to do is turn the lawnmower over. I usually turn the lawnmower over so that the gas cap is on the top and not down below. Alright, next thing you need to do is put a 2x4 in here or somewhere on your mower deck. Put the blade up against it and get your wrench. Most of them are 9/16 to which is basically the same thing as a 14mm. And you could probably hold this blade and get it off, but I just find it easier to do that and use a hammer and just kind of knock it. And they're counterclockwise unless the blade is turning the other way, in which case there will be more than likely a reverse thread. But you really need to check your manual for that if you're not sure. But for most mowers, they come off counterclockwise looking at the shaft. So let's go ahead and get this off. And you pull your blade off like that. There we go. And we run it over the grinder and sharpen it up, and then we'll balance it. So let's go do that. Alright, here we go. You just go ahead and follow the blade contour here. See it there as well. It's kind of dull. I mean, it's really not that bad for a mower, but I want it to be a little sharper because we let the backyard grow for a couple weeks, and I haven't sharpened it since I owned it, and I've owned it for a couple years now. So we're just going to use a regular 40 grit. I think it's a 40 grit. It says 40 on it. Not sure, but just a coarse wheel, and we'll just run it through here like this and get her all cleaned up, and then I'll go ahead and show that to you. Just try to keep everything consistent all the way across. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll show it to you. pretty sharp. Got a little bit of dullness right here I need to work out. That looks much better. So I'm going to call that good on this side. I'm going to do the other side. A little bit more to go. And I think that'll do it. I can finish this off with a file now. Yeah, next thing is just stick it in a vise. And I highly recommend you put some gloves on doing this. If you slip and cut yourself on that, it's not going to be pretty. Alright, and just grab your vise, or your your file. Maybe support the end with your hand. Let me see if I can move this back just a little bit. There we go. This is how I do things, and then just knock the back burrs off, and that'll be sharp enough to cut what you need. Go ahead and reverse it around. There you go. And for the most part, this is how I've been doing my blades for years, and they work. So, I mean, it's not professional or anything like that, but heck, you could buy all these fancy tools, you can do all this kind of crap, but the first time you hit a rock or get into some heavy weeds or something, it's not going to make a bit of difference. All that stuff is for naught. There you go. Knock any little burrs off. I just drug that across there. I wasn't really filing, I was just knocking any burrs off. Next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and balance that blade to make sure that when it's on the lawnmower, it's not shaking the whole lawnmower. You want it to be a nice smooth cut. And that's really the important thing, a sharp edge and a balanced blade. So let's go ahead and set this up and balance it. Okay, for balancing, I just use a bolt, and on a star pattern, obviously you want to use the top slot there. Right in there. You don't want to use that top slot, because if you put it on this side, it's going to want to pick one of the other ones, and it's you know, over here, and you're not getting a very true balance. So you want to use the top one, the little top, the top of that star. And you can see it's a little heavier on that side. You can tell you can push it whichever way it wants to go. That's it. So let's go this way. It goes easier that way, and it wants to stay down there. And there's all kinds of tricks and methods you can do, but I find this is just the easiest way. You take a little bit off, and theoretically, no matter where you put it, it should stay balanced. So if this is off this degrees and you put it over here, it should want to stay right there. So it's pretty close. That side is definitely heavy there. This side over here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to take a little bit off the end. If you take it off the end, it affects more than if you take it off in the middle here. There's more leverage out there. So I'll take just a little bit off of there, and then that'll probably be good. So let's go ahead and look at that now. Okay, I think I'm pretty much there. I push this side down, you know, about 40 degrees, 35 degrees. It comes back a little shy here, and I push this side down about the same amount. And it doesn't quite come back all the way. So it looks like I need to take a little bit more off of that side. Before, it would just pretty much stay there. And this side would go down, and it would actually go a little bit past level. So I knew that side was definitely heavy. So I'll just keep doing it until until they both come back to about the same. Now I could use a ball bearing and all kinds of other crap, but it's really not going to make that big of a difference. So let me take a little bit more off over on the grinder, and then we'll probably call it good. Okay, I think we're there. I can put it just about anywhere, and it'll stay pretty much wherever I want it equally. So that's pretty well balanced. So let's go ahead and put it back on the mower now. Okay, here we go. I just set it back on here in the star pattern. Come on. There we go. And you take the bolt, put it back in. There you go. Now you have an option. You can use the 2x4 if you want. Here we go, just like that, and just tighten it up. Now I don't recommend that you tighten towards the blade you just sharpened. I recommend you bring the wrench down here and you pull up from here to do that. Alright, now we're just gonna go ahead and tighten it up. That's about all you need right there. So, pull your board out, get your wrench off. You can get it off. Sometimes they stick on there pretty good. I usually just use a little pry bar and wiggle it while I do it. It'll come off like that. Go ahead and set your lawnmower back up and start it up and see how she balances out. Okay, go ahead and start it. Alright, now the reason I started it is I wanted to show you it wasn't shaking all over the place. And then I went up to the handle up here and I showed you the handle, and that the handle wasn't jumping all over either. That's another way to tell that your blade is balanced. So thanks for watching, guys, and hope this helped you. If it did, give me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you later. Oh, if you want to help the channel too, go ahead and subscribe. So God bless you all, and keep none you out. Bye.